Hey Lensettes, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. So I know you guys are probably like, where have you been? It's been months since you posted a video, and I know life happens. Your girl has been just busy, you know, being a wife now. I'm married, guys, so I have so much to tell you guys. I know you guys saw me post my proposal video and I didn't even go into detail about what happened. I didn't even tell you guys the story. So pretty much this is going to be like a little life update video, because I did like a few weeks ago post on my Instagram for people to just have, if they had any questions, things they wanted to know about me. And of course, you know, when you post stuff on Instagram nowadays, people don't really respond like they should. So I only got a few questions, but it's fine. They pretty much were like the same type of questions, but I'll go into that later on in the video. But I did want to talk about the proposal because that video has now 10K views, which is wow, because amazing. So I kind of just want to go into detail about that day, and then we'll follow up with some questions and take it from there. So ladies, if you have some wine or some tea, say a while. Your girl got some wine. So yes, so I'm gonna literally just go right into what I'm gonna talk about. So the proposal, we got engaged in October the 19th, which is our anniversary. This was what, 2 years ago now. So the night before our anniversary, my boyfriend at the time came over my house with some cards, and basically in the cards he had details based off of what I needed to follow the next day, which was our anniversary. So in the cards, I believe he wrote like, he told me like to make sure I carry some flat shoes, and I think bring like changing clothes. And he also wrote in the card, do not like basically bother your mom, like just let her go with the flow. So basically my mom was the driver to get me to each destination the next day. So that next day, which was our anniversary, my mom was the driver. She literally took me to places that I needed to go, basically what Keyshawn and her had spoke about. So that morning we woke up, she took me to Cheesecake Factory for breakfast. Mind you, I never even had Cheesecake Factory's breakfast. So if you haven't had it, I definitely recommend, because it was definitely A1. So yes, so then once we had Cheesecake Factory, you know, we ate breakfast and then we let the day proceed. The cheesecake was obviously connected to the mall, so from there we went to Sephora. So in my head, I'm not thinking like, okay, what's happening? Like, I'm just thinking like, I'm trying to let the day flow, because my boyfriend always has done nice things for me and extravagant things. So I kind of, you know, I won't say, I guess I'm kind of used to that, like, you know, fun and like romantic and spontaneous things, because that's what I'm just used to with being with him. So me getting my makeup done was kind of like, all right, maybe he has something up his sleeve, maybe he doesn't, maybe my mom's just being nice. All these thoughts was running into my head, but I didn't want to think like, oh, I was getting engaged that day, because what if it didn't happen, and then I got my hopes up and it didn't happen. So I got my makeup done the day, you know, the makeup was perfect, it was beautiful, I felt beautiful. And then from there we went to another destination. We wound up at the Westin Hotel, which was in Princeton University. Wait, no, I'm lying. It was, what? It was in Princeton, and so yes, the hotel was in Princeton. So we wound up at the Westin Hotel. We get into the hotel, and I had my head wrapped, but I wasn't thinking anything of it. My mom kind of threw a shot like, oh, you might want to take your hair out, but she didn't say it. So I wound up going to the bathroom downstairs in the hotel, and I took off my head wrap and everything, took my hair, my pin curls out and stuff. And then my mom went to go get the room key from the, you know, the receptionist desk. So she meets me in the hallway, she gives me the key, and then she tells me, you know, what floor, and I go to the floor. I went up to the floor, like, okay, maybe Keyshawn's upstairs, like, I don't know. So I'm still just letting, you know, just letting things flow. Like, I'm not even thinking, like, I'm just like, okay, this is, all right. So I wound up opening the door, and when I opened the door, there was balloons, confetti, a photographer, a videographer. Like, it was, I was blown away. I cried instantly, because it was just like, you know, my emotions, like, to see something like that was just like, it was out of this world. Like, I still to this day have no words for what I experienced on that day. It was just perfect, it was special, it was romantic, it was thoughtful. It was just, I was really, really grateful for the whole moment, to be honest. So anyway, after I cried, get all out the way, on the bed there was like 2 bags. There was another bag with like red bottoms in it. I had 2 different dresses. So I wound up wearing one of the long ball gown dresses, and then I wore the red bottoms. And then once I, you know, got mentally prepared and got ready to go to my last destination, that's when I was like, okay, I'm still in my head like, okay, maybe something might happen, but maybe it won't. So let me just let the day flow. So once we leave the hotel, my mom drives me to the last destination, and there we meet Keyshawn. Keyshawn, I guess, saw my mom pull up, so he came over to the car door and opened the car door. As soon as I saw him, I busted out crying, because I'm like, what? He had a tux on, looking all sharp and handsome. So I was just like, what is happening? Like, I'm all here dolled up, I got my makeup done, he all dressed up, like, what's going on? So then I see a photographer, his name's Danny. I'll shout him out too, because he's phenomenal. Yes, we wound up walking around Princeton University to take pictures. Again, I'm not thinking anything. I'm just like, okay, it's our anniversary. Maybe he just wanted to do like a nice photo shoot for us. So we took pictures around the university, and then we wound up going down this long hallway. And I'm walking down the hallway, and then Danny goes, he tells us to stop in this one area. So he gives me some rose petals to throw like up in the air or whatever to take, and he said he wanted to get like some special shots and also capture it in the video. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I wound up throwing these rose petals. I'm throwing them, trying to get the perfect shot. Then Danny keeps telling me no, that he didn't get it, so keep doing it, keep doing it. Meanwhile, Keyshawn's in the back already on his knees, and I'm like, I'm not even paying attention. I'm over here trying to throw rose petals. So once I finally get the concept, I turn around, and he's on his knee, and then he just asks me to marry him, and I just start busting out crying. As you guys saw, that's all captured in the video. So it was just a perfect, intimate, special moment that I'm so grateful for that moment. Like, it was perfect. It wasn't overwhelming where people, you know, all surrounding us with cameras and things like that. It was just us and the photographer, and it was all captured on camera, and it was just perfect. And that day, like, it's to this day, it blows me away to think of all the stuff that he planned throughout that day. It was just perfect. So anyway, I have a little bit more to tell you guys, because there was more throughout the day. So once that all happens, we get engaged, and then we wound up going back to the hotel to just relax and chill. Once we do that, Keyshawn tells us we have reservations for dinner. So I'm like, all right, cool. He just says, you know, we'll leave at this time. So we wound up leaving, and then he tells me, I think we're going to, I forgot where exactly he told us we were going, but we were going somewhere to eat, and we wound up passing the restaurant. So I'm like, where are we going? I'm like, you just said we have reservations, and he just kept saying like, oh, chill, chill, chill. So once we're finally driving, I'm starting to realize where we're going. I'm like, all right, we're going to my house. So I'm like, all right, cool. I see a bunch of cars and stuff, so I'm like, I guess everybody, you know, is at the house. So as soon as we walk up to the house, I open the door, and everybody's like crowded about like our stairwell, and just my friends and my family, his family. It was just like, everybody was like, congratulations. And I was just like, wow, like I was blown away. I didn't cry because I had cried the whole day. So I was just like, it was perfect, like to have my family and friends there to, you know, celebrate this special moment. And it was great. Like, I'm thoughtful, and you know, it was just, like I said, I have no words for the moment. So that day passed. I posted the video, you guys seen everything, and that's just pretty much how our engagement went. Exceeded my expectations. My ring is beyond beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of blurry. Maybe not. There you go. So that's my ring. Yeah, now we're married. We waited, we had like a 2-year kind of engagement. It took time to plan, a lot of stuff, you know, we had to, you know, get over and work with and stuff like that. And it just, you know, to plan and save, it was just a lot. So we waited 2 years to get married. We actually just got married this past June. We had a beautiful wedding. We didn't have to postpone anything because of COVID. Like, we literally had the wedding date that we, you know, had planned, and it really happened on that date. So it was perfect. Our wedding, we had, what, I think it was like 197 people that came. We had some no's, but as far as the count, we were very happy to even have a wedding, especially during these tough times of COVID and, you know, just a lot of things going on. To have celebrated that special moment, it was my heart. So yes, I'm willing to post like a wedding video if you guys are interested in, you know, seeing tips or anything like that. I'm gonna actually post the wedding video next after this video, being that I did tell you guys that I'm now married. I'll post that next. So yeah, if you guys are interested and have any questions regarding the wedding and stuff like that, I'll be more than happy to do a video on that. And then now I gotta get into my questions. And I also, hold on, y'all hear me? It's been a while, your girl. So I guess I'll go over some of the questions. I only got a few. Like I said, it wasn't a lot of questions that were asked, but they pretty much were all the same. So I guess I'll go over to detail with those. But as far as life, things have been great. I moved out, obviously, with my husband. We have our first apartment together. We moved out in February, so that was perfect. Our wedding happened in June, so that happened. Our careers are doing well. We're doing well successfully together. We're trying to save eventually so we can get a house. So that's, that's time coming. No children yet. Eventually, we got priorities and stuff to work on first before we start bringing out and pumping out babies, but they will happen soon. And I can't wait to share that, experience with you all as well. So some of the questions. So this question was, how is married life and tips on moving in with your significant other? So married life is good. It's great. We have we've been dating for so long. We've been together 9 years. So like now it's been 9 years together, not married obviously, but together. So we pretty much know the ins and outs of our relationship, what he doesn't like, what I don't like. Again, I'm not a married expert, so I can't really give you the married knowledge, but I can basically give you my experience based off of my relationship, and we hope to instill to make a wonderful foundation together. So married life is good. Moving in with your significant other is also a good and fun experience. There are things that we kind of that works for us. Like if I cook dinner, he will wash the dishes. If I'm cleaning the bathrooms, he'll mop the living room and dining room floor, or he'll make the bed because that's what he likes to do. I like cleaning the bathrooms. I like cleaning the toilet. He likes doing folding the laundry. There's just things that we work on that works for us, and that's what we do in our relationship. We talk about things, we bump heads. Yes, we're normal people. We don't always get along, and that's fine. We learn to work on what upset him and what upset me and what we're gonna do to fix the situation. Sometimes it may be difficult because he may be the stubborn one, and I'm tend to be a little strong-headed, so sometimes I don't want to listen. But again, that's just what you have to do in your relationship. You gotta just work together. You gotta understand each other. You gotta just talk and fix it and make it, make this situation a lot better. So that's that. Advice you can give someone that's married. Like I said, I'm not a married expert, so the only thing I can really relate off of is based off of my relationship. The advice that I can give, compromise. Just be open and honest. Talk about what you don't and don't like. Talk about things that you think could make your relationship better. Go on date nights, be spontaneous. Still, get your hair, get your nails done, or him, go get his, go get a facial, or go get your beard cut, or go buy a pair of sneakers. Stuff like that to make you feel good as a person will also make your relationship a lot better too. Also, like I said, compromising is definitely the biggest one in communication. You got to talk about things that you don't like, and talk about finances and how many children do you want, where do you want to be raised, where do you want to live. All this stuff you have to talk about. I believe you should have talked about before you got married, and we definitely did. There was a lot of stuff that we put out on the table before we even said I do. So it was things that we kind of already were open and honest about in the beginning. We're not, like I said, our relationship's not perfect. We've been together 9 years, so come on, we've been through pretty much a lot. I've seen him, we both seen each other grow up to who we are today, and it wasn't always diamonds and whatever. It was not glitz and glam the whole time. So I just want you guys to know that just because someone gets married does not think that their life is perfect, because it's not. They're gonna still go through trials and tribulations. They're still gonna fight. There's still gonna be arguments. There's still gonna be a lot of things. But like I said, marriage is like an empty vessel that you learn to fill up together to build, to make your relationship stronger. And we're married, we're learning each other, we're still learning each other every day. We're still learning, still trying to understand this marriage thing. We did do some marriage counseling before. Well, actually we were supposed to do it before, but we missed the cutoff, so we did it after. And we learned some tips and pointers from the class. It was pretty, informative. But again, with us being together for so long, we kind of had the understanding of how a relationship should and would work. So that's pretty much what I have to say for that question. Married life versus relationship life. What are the differences? I feel like that whole once you get married things change line is out. because not really much has changed with us. Like, we're still the same, Keyshawn and Jasmine. So I don't know why people think like once they get married, marriage is like a big no, and then stuff changes. It shouldn't change. And if it does change, then something was causing some issues before you guys got married, which is why things change now. Stuff that you probably should have discussed before you got married to now you're dealing with it in your marriage because you didn't talk about it. So I would have to say there shouldn't be any differences. Of course, obviously you're living together probably now. You're splitting the bills. You can't just go and willy-nilly just do what you want. You gotta kind of like, you know, you gotta think about your spouse now. So I guess there's differences there, but not as much has changed within our relationship. Like, we're still the fun, goofy people that we were when we were dating. So not in that aspect, things haven't changed. But as far as like your finances, living together, things like that all changes obviously when you get married. So that's some differences, I guess you could say. But again, that whole saying being married and then it should not change who you guys are once you get married. Things should not change in that aspect. So that's what I have to say for that question. And pretty much all the other questions that I got was pretty much tips on significant others, married life, and pretty much the same question. So that's pretty much what I have to say as far as like just being married, just being together, living with your significant other. There are things that Keyshawn does that I'm just like, I might look at him crazy, but that just might make him feel good, and vice versa. Like, he likes making the bed, and he makes the bed a certain way. So if I go and make the bed and I don't do it the way he does it, does not mean what I did is wrong, and vice versa. It's just, that's just the way we do it. So sometimes that could cause an argument because they're like, okay, well, I did it this way, so let's do it this way, and then the other person did it that way, and then you're out over here knitting tit for tat and over something that's not even worth it. So there's just a lot of learning things that you have to do and like talk about in your relationship. Like, it's not going to be perfect, and I love being married to him. And like I said, we did not come for perfect. We're still not perfect. We're still learning each other every day, and you know, we're happy together. We built so much together. Like, we paid for our wedding in full by ourselves. Like, grateful for, you know, my parents and his parents, and just, you know, the whole experience was perfect. My family was so supportive, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody was just so happy for us. And it's just, and my friends too, I can't forget my friends. They have been phenomenal throughout the process too. My best friend, thank you, she was my maid of honor. Everybody just played a special part in our lives, and it was just really special to us. And life, like, granted, COVID has come since and like made the world's a disaster mess. I have to say this year was like one of my biggest and special moments because I moved out, I got married, you know, my job, work is doing well, I'm learning new things, trying to experience, trying to take courses to excel in my career. My husband's doing well in his career. He moved to a new a district, so he's, you know, trying to branch off in his career, and then we're just trying to do side things on the side, and we're just looking forward to 2022 because we have a lot of things in store just as for our relationship and just in life. You know, I just want to be a successful Black woman, so that's my goal in life, is just to do well and just be successful. And you know, I want that for our relationship. I want us to, you know, grow old together, be married in wrinkles and olds, and yeah, just be happy. Like, just be blessed for what you have, because life, yes, can be difficult. Like, there are times where I find myself like, dang, like, I can't go out and get that shirt because I got rent due. Like, there's just certain things you have to learn to just compromise, and you can't just make that one little situation ruin your mood and your life and your happiness, because people tend to do that, and myself tend to do that. So basically, my tip and motivations and stuff for today is to just do what makes you happy. Be successful, go and get it, go do what you gotta do. Like, don't not do what you want to do for anybody. Like, if you want to do it, then go do it. Don't let nobody tell you can't do something, and just do it. Like, you know, just, and sip your wine too. But that's all I have today. I was a bit nervous because it's been a while. My voice does whatever. I probably done stuttered over 5 million words in this video, but it's fine because it's me and that's who I am. I'm being honest and open, and that's just what it is. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed my little proposal story. I hope you guys enjoyed the answers to my questions. Again, if you have more questions, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Feel free to leave comments below. I'll be, you know, sure to answer them. If you guys, like I said, if you're interested in a wedding video on like tips and how we saved and what we can do, or how we did stuff, how we budgeted what we did, I'll be more than happy to share with you guys, because I definitely would want to help the next person that, you know, wants to get married with some tips. So I'm more than welcome to do that. Please continue to stay tuned for more videos. I know I said that the last time, because I believe the last video I posted, it was me going food shopping for the place that we live in now, and I didn't even tell you guys about that. So yeah, there's just so much that's been happening, and life has just been catching up with me that I just didn't have the time to, you know, post and do what I had to do. But I'm gonna try to be consistent and post as much as I could. So at least stay tuned for 2022. So that's all I have for today in this video. So if you guys have any questions, or, you know, you want any feedback on anything, please let me know. I'll be, you know, more than open and happy to answer what you guys have. I am gonna post our wedding video too. Obviously, like I said, after I post this video, I'll post that one to follow, because like I said, our proposal video did very well. We got 10K views on my YouTube, so thank you for whoever watched and commented. It was much appreciated. So yes, stay tuned for my next video, and I hope to see you guys. Bye.